for listening to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful weekend thus far. It had been pretty rainy, but today is a beautiful day. And I am just so happy and elated to be here as usual. You guys are so important to me. I want to thank each and every one of my listeners that tune in to Sundays at the Square. I also want to encourage you all, if you're not already on myb106.com, you can catch this show and all other shows. Again, that's www.myb106.com. You can also go and like us on Facebook at B106 Hip Hop and R&B. You can also go on Instagram and find us as well. And of course, you can live stream anytime by downloading the app at B106. So listen, guys, I usually have, a particular topic and subject matter and different guests that come on and talking about community events and things of that nature. But today I just wanted to spend some time talking to you guys and just really talking about some current events. I want to give a shout out to all my live listeners and viewers right now that are tuned in via Facebook Live. Hey, Quincy. Hey, Tonda. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Keisha. How are you? I definitely want to give you guys a shout out. And today it's all about you guys. We want to get your feedback as we begin to talk about some of these subjects. First of all, let me give a disclaimer. I am not a mental health professional. Later on this month, being that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I will be having mental health professionals come in and speak about mental health and some of the things that the stigma that goes along with it. But I just wanted to just talk to y'all and chop it up and, just have a good Sunday morning. And for those that are tuned in live, happy Saturday. So as you know, there's been a lot of things that have been going on in the media. People really mad at Kanye West right now. But there are a lot of other things going on in the media that a lot of people may not be talking about. I'm actually going to be doing some research and kind of going in and out and looking at some data while I'm talking to you guys today, because I want to make sure that we fact check before we just put stuff out on the radio. But with that being said, there's been a lot going on with Mr. Kanye West, and I really I feel bad for him in some ways because to me, I watch Kanye even with, to me, it goes all the way back to when his mother died. And I think a lot of people, hey, Monica, how are you doing? I think that a lot of people don't, hey, Jennifer. I think a lot of people don't really realize that he's been dealing with mental health for a very long time. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Godfrey. Hey, Shanitra. You guys are really tuning in today. Okay. But I don't think that people really take in consideration all that he was dealing with, even when his mother passed away. But even before that, I think Kanye was dealing with some things. A lot of times the research has proven is that when you are a genius or you are excellent in certain craft, a lot of times mental health issues can come along with that. And I don't think that that's something that a lot of people are really taking into consideration when looking at Kanye. Hey, LaShonda. And so with that being said, I think that it's really important for us to take that into consideration. A lot of times people look at people and they say, oh, they have a whole bunch of money, they have wealth and things like that. But that doesn't necessarily define what you're going to go through in life. You can be as rich as you want to be, and there are rich people that were killing themselves and committing suicide and hurting themselves. I mean, a good example of that would be Robin Williams. He was one of my favorite actors, and he took his own life. So I don't think that money really can change a person. That's my personal opinion. But you know what? I got somebody sitting next to me today who is very, very special. And he is kind of like a pop-in. But I value his opinion because he happens to be Bay. And so I want to introduce to you Mr. Michael Smith. Say what's up to the people.
Hello. What's up, people? What's so loud?
And so, people say more money, more problems. Do you think that that's a real fact?
Yes, I believe it is.
And why so?
It could be various reasons.
He's shy.
Yeah.
He shot, put him on,
Reasons.
but various reasons. I mean, I think maybe, you know, I think that sometimes when you go and you start making this money, oftentimes what'll happen is your family will start coming, they'll start asking for things, they'll start wanting things. Do you think it's pressure that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pressure draws attention also at the same time.
Yeah.
Wanted attention and wanted attention.
Unwanted and wanted. Well, I guess it would be an example of unwanted attention would be like the paparazzi. You know, how we just take it for granted. We can just go to the store. We can go and, you know, shop for our kids or shop with our family. We don't have to be on, you know.
Looking over our shoulder.
Yeah.
Watching. Yeah.
Watching. And then I think also that is something to take in consideration with Kanye as well is, you know, they say that Kim K, a lot of people don't believe this, but they say that was staged, but I believe it. You know, Kim Kardashian was taken at gunpoint. You think it's a lie?
Yeah, sort of, kind of. It's both.
Why?
Nah, all of a sudden the people just get away with the jewelry.
I mean,
As much security they have, Kanye overall.
but Kanye wasn't there though. Remember, it was Kim by herself.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess my thing would be, why would they stage something like that? What would be the benefit of staging that? They already have the highest television show, you know what I mean? They already have plenty of money. What would be the gain from staging something like
More
that?
money. More money.
I don't know,
It's
man.
Kanye.
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like Kanye, in some ways, he is a free thinker, like he likes to say, you know, and I think that in some ways he is ahead of his time. But I think that it's very important because of the influence that he has. He has to be careful about what he says. Now, if one of us was sitting around our coffee table and we said the same thing that Kanye said about slavery being a choice, would we be going through all of this backlash, media backlash right now? No. No. People have had all kinds of, I mean, even that movie Barbershop, you look at the conversations and stuff that they were having in the barbershop or whatever. People have these conversations at barbershops, beauty shops, around all around the world, at home. But people, what happens is when you are a public figure, it's like this responsibility that comes upon you that you have to say things politically correct, and it has to be correct, and you know, if not, you're gonna receive all this backlash. Do I agree with everything that Kanye said? No. Do I agree with the way he said it? No. But I kind of got where he was trying to go. I think that Kanye was basically saying that it's time. Look, as he looks at me crazy.
Yes, I'm listening.
You listening? Okay, so listen, hear me out. I believe what Kanye was trying to say is that at some point we have to quit reliving the reliving slavery. I feel like he said, the Jews don't go around talking about the Holocaust every day. You know what I mean? But then again, some may argue and say, well, the Jews got reparations as well. They got plenty of money. Black folks still waiting on their 40 acres and a mule, so we ain't got that 40 acres and a mule yet. So, you know, maybe that's the reason why we talking about it. Hook us up with a couple of pieces of land. I mean, me and Bay said we want some land. You know, y'all could hook us up at any point. I don't think we have much to say after that either. But you know, there has not been any reparations, and of course this is a conversation that's talked about. But here's the overall issue. The problem is that while people are talking about Kanye, nobody's talking about the two boys that were lynched. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some information for you guys and talk a little bit about that, because I've been seeing via social media and on the internet that there were two young African American teens that were lynched recently in the last week or so. So I'm going to look that up and I'm going to find out the validity of that. But a lot of times what people say is, oh, this is just a cover up for what's really going on. But let's be clear, people are getting killed each and every day. Things are happening each and every day, not even just in the United States, but around the globe. So do artists have a responsibility to keep their tongue and to watch what they say? Do you think that they have to watch what they say more so than someone else? And I'm throwing that back to you.
No.
Why?
No, they don't. It has an influence on what you put out there, but I guess it's their lifestyle. Some people make it up, some people really live it. You can't really.
So you don't think that you don't think that they have a responsibility to guard what they say and how they put things out there because of the influence?
Yes, it influence children and the upcoming youth. You know what I'm saying? It affect everything.
I agree.
But you control what they listen to also, what your children listen to.
Right, but you can and you can't, because the thing is when you send your kids to school every day, you don't know what they're going to be exposed to or what they're going to see. So it's like, I think it's important to put down those foundational principles in the family, in the home, so that when those things do come their way, they're able to have a balance and understand, okay, this is real and this isn't. Does that make sense? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch up and we're gonna go to the next subject. Poke Kanye. Y'all keep Kanye lifted up in prayer, like for real. People are mad at Kanye, and I understand, you know, the frustration. You know, being an African American woman myself, it is difficult. A lot of times, you know, you walk in a room and you feel like you already have, like, you know, something written across your forehead. People come and they see you, the first thing they see is black or woman. So I definitely can understand how, you know, the average man, the person that isn't a millionaire, the person that's just trying to make it and just trying to work and is afraid to get stopped by the police officers, afraid to go into the store and sell cigarettes outside of the store, is afraid to go walk in the middle of the night as a teenager with a hood on because you may get shot. See, those are the things that causes such an uproar with Mr. West's his comments, because what they have become is they become insensitive, and it's almost to the point to where you're trying to say that what's happening is not really happening. What's crazy to me about the whole situation is, if you remember, do y'all remember when Katrina happened? And what did Kanye say on the tele? It was a telecast or whatever it is. You remember what he said? George Bush don't care about black people. He went smooth off about Katrina, and he received a lot of praise and he received a lot of backlash from that, to where now you fast forward, let's see, what Katrina was, what, in 06? No, 05, I think 05 or 06. So here we are at about 12 or 13 years later, and he's wearing a hat saying "Make America Great Again." Wait a minute, money can change the things, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like it's more of a classism situation and discrimination that we're dealing with. Of course, we deal with racism, and I would never take that away. We deal with prejudice and discrimination every single day, and it's really sad. But also, we need to take into consideration that there is classism going on as well, because, you know, Kanye is in a different tax bracket than he was in 06. Okay, so, you know, mind frame too. Exactly. So you're in a completely different tax bracket than you were then. You know, I feel like a lot of times you get accustomed to living a certain way. You may even forget a little bit about what the struggle was, or your psyche has changed because your situation and you have changed. Everything has changed. And so I think that that's something definitely important to take in consideration with Kanye West, and with, you know, some of the comments and things that he has been making here lately. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a little bit with Sundays at the Square with your host, Toni Ringgold. See you in a bit.